What would you say to an agent who's considering that?
Considering quitting,
Yes.
I always go back to get out in front of more people, educate, 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 be sincere, be honest. And the more people you talk to, I'm trying to remember, I guarantee you know this quote. I don't remember it exactly, but they say, I've heard that your success is determined by how many people you talk to, multiplied by how many times you can implement your advice. So keep getting out there, keep talking to people, be honest, be ethical, and just keep moving forward. If you wake up this morning and you don't get out of bed and you sit in bed all day and you don't talk to a single person, who are you going to have that's going to buy and sell? And again, if you talk to one person and they say, I'm not interested in buying or selling, you still have an opportunity to ask, who do you know? So it's the key is getting in front of people, talking to people, consulting with them, and giving your advice. Or, like a doctor does, give them your prescription to their problem. Consulting.
So tell me how important the ask is. And so conversations are one thing, but without asking for something, you don't gain a whole lot of progress. And so talk to me about how important the ask is.
It's of the utmost importance to me, so much so that I've learned alternate ways to close so that it doesn't even sound like you're closing on them. Like, for example, I'll take you back to a second ago where I said, would you let me know if you ever become open to offers? Is that a deal? Here's one that my friend Drew taught me, that mortgage guy. After you provide them with success, instead of saying, hey, keep me in mind for referrals or something like that, just say, hey, don't keep us a secret. It doesn't sound like a close. You always have to be closing, so come up with as many alternative ways to close that don't sound pressureful. I have found I'm always closing on people, but I've got so many alternative ways to close on them, like deal or don't keep us a secret, please, or things like that. Not, hey, keep me in mind if you ever come across somebody that wants to buy or sell. Of course you can say that, but that to me sounds like a close, and it almost sounds pressureful. The other ways, it's like, wait a minute, I should keep this guy in mind.
So how often would you engage your data? We talked about going out and walking the neighborhood and knocking on doors. You do that every couple months, or what would you suggest?
Fortunately, I don't have to do it much anymore because I have so much by way of automation with social media, automatic postcards every month. I do still live by those things that I did in the beginning. Like, I still cut my own grass half the time. So just because I like to do it, I find really it's not the highest and best use of my monetary time. I can pay somebody less than what I make, but I like doing it. Number one, because I enjoy it personally. But number two, that's what gives me the opportunity to continue to wave to people as they drive by, or if they're walking their dog and I'm out, I'll just say hello. Because they wonder sometimes, oh, who's that? That's the guy that's sending me the postcards. He lives right here. I didn't even know it. So being visible is huge.
What about the automatic postcards? Talk to me a little bit about the automatic postcards. What's the trigger for those to be sent out, and just break down that process?
I have a set of postcards that are sent out once a month, regardless of anything I do. They're not just listed, they're not just sold, they're generic. Maybe a motivational quote, or maybe a recipe, or something like that. Very subtle, but it's got my name and number on it just to stay in front of people. But also, I've tried to increase my visibility on YouTube, or when I list a home now, I'll try to do a quick 1 minute video on, hey, I've got this listing coming up on Yale or on Minerva or whatever street it is, and I'll try to target that location on Instagram. So you never know. People might see the postcard, or they might see you on Instagram, or you know what else? I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 restaurants. Some of them, not as expensive as others. Some of them little Coney Island type restaurants. Others that are a little bit more expensive. I'm always in the area. If I go out to eat, I'm trying to stay within a mile or two of my own home because I like to be visible. So even when I'm doing my own thing with my fiance or my kids or my family, I still want to be visible in the area, whether it be by postcards or social media or cutting my grass outside or taking my own dogs for walks. I still want to be as visible as possible out there.
When you do have a listing, let's say that sells, you might reach back out to the neighbors and talk about that and create a story. So what do those calls look like? If I'm an agent who has no clue how to start that call, what does that look like?
And it's called a pattern interrupt. A lot of times when people will make, say, circle prospecting calls,